Blaney's rejoining there, they're all three wide. Neil's trying to get involved and Blaney hits them both off. Blaney goes back on the track, hits both cars. It's the right on the back of Bradders into the hairpin on the inside. Bradders outbreaks himself and they both pass, just hard to say. Stevie passes the wall straight through. Oh, Callum's lost it! Callum's lost it! What a recovery! He uses the wall, but what a recovery there from Callum. Let's have a look at Steve. Now Stevie holds his own around the outside. And no way Jose, but then gets a slow run out of the corner. Bids us right up on the outside of him again. This is brilliant. LPB WTCR Championship Round 4 Race 1 from Wtcr Circuit Monaco. Hi everyone and welcome back to LPB Racing for another race on the LPB WTCR Championship on Project Cars 2. This is round 4, race 1, and we are at Wtcr Circuit, also known as Monaco, as everyone will know it as. So Monaco in touring cars, this is going to be bonkers, especially with 14 people on track. So let's get to the grid then and have a look at the order. So here we go then. So it is Bradders on pole position with Hovno alongside, so I'll just double checking with the name. Yeah, Hovno alongside. Stevie in third, Intrepidi fourth, then we've got George fifth, Sai is sixth, and as you'll notice there, everyone's changed car, so we'll go through these as we go on. So it's Blake in the Mercedes in seventh, and it's Yomko in eighth, Bidster ninth, Twerdy in 10th, TY 11th, Will in 12th, and then we've got Pash and Neil both at the back, the two teammates at the back of the grid, so this should be entertaining. So everyone in different cars now, a lot of people choosing the Mercedes for this middle stint of the season. So let's get on with the race then. Let's see if we can keep it clean around Monaco. I highly doubt it, but we'll see as we go for the off, and we're off. Oh, George comes straight through in the middle of Intrepidi and hits him, so a bit rough there really as we go into the first corner. George around the outside, Bradders to the inside of Hovno, and Hovno takes the lead. Bradders has to shortcot the corner as we just try and change the camera. As there we are, everyone else actually cleanly through Sandoval as we go up the hill to Casino. And this is going to get absolutely mental up here. Hovno's through. Oh, there's contact between Intrepidi and Bradders. Still more contact as we go through the corner, and everyone else piling up behind as Bradders goes through with Stevie right behind him. And then we look further back, we've got a few other people further back. Bidster on the inside. Yonko going for Sai Racing, literally. Bang, have that. As into the hairpin, move this. Sai Racing, bang! Goes and hits Blakeney, outbreaks himself, and meanwhile around the outside goes one car around the outside. I think that's Yomko taking advantage of positions there. Twerdy into the wall, Bidster up the inside into the corner before the tunnel, and Bidster tries to get around the inside but can't do it. Twerdy holds on, and Pash and Neil have made up one place so far each, as on Will, who's gone to the back of the field. Bidster now alongside Sai Racing in towards the chicane. Meanwhile the rest of the day, and Hovno's gone off. Hovno's gone off. And he's off into the wall, bang! Oh, big incident, and he gets hit again. He somersaults in the air. Yomko goes in the air as well, and everyone else now having to work the way past. So massive incident there as Yomko and Hovno have to get the cars back on the cars get back going again. But major incident there as the rest of the cars coming towards the swimming pool. So we've got everyone else through there nicely as we look at around the rest of the field. There's Pash and Neil, they've made up places in all that. So big drama at the back then as Will goes through. Hovno, he's there in 12th, Intrepidi in 13th, and Yomko in 14th. So we'll get a replay on that later on at the halfway stage. So let's have a look at the position then. So it's George from Stevie ahead, then it's Bradders, Blake, and then we've got Twerdy who we're looking at there, with Sai Racing closing right up to the back of him as Bidster slides the car out of Sandoval. Now you can get a foot with the drive car sideways around there, I don't know, but Bidster can do it as Twerdy defends from Sai Racing and bounces off the wall, bounces off both walls, and Sai Racing goes through. Twerdy following the wall round, and now he's under attack from Bidster in the Mercedes. Bidster in the Mercedes coming right up to the back of him as we go down the hill towards the bottom, and there's a right hairpin and he can't find a way through there, so all the cars just bunching up a bit. Bradders got a bit of a train behind him now. Sai Racing, Twerdy and TY hang on to the back as Neil Farrack goes up the inside of his teammate Pash. So Neil and Pash swap positions there in the BMWs, so they've just swapped round. So Pash clearly thinking Neil's got more pace around this one. So up front, Stevie in the lead in the Mercedes. So George and Stevie now swap from the Megane and they're in the Mercedes. So team dive squad in the Mercedes now. As there goes, Blaney gets hit. Blaney gets hit by Cy Racing, and he's reversing while Neil comes around the corner. Stupid move there from Blaney. Really, he should have stayed there until all the cars had cleared. But you got to give him benefit of the doubt, though, I suppose. I mean, it was a reaction by me there, but he can't really see what's coming down the hill properly. All he's got is his map for a guidance. So I think he was just trying to clear himself to the middle, so he wasn't a hazard. But he should have really just stayed where he were. But then again, in the heat of the moment, you don't usually think about that kind of stuff. As Hovno's now at the back of the field with Intrepidi and Yonko ahead now. So, Intrepidi goes off at the swimming pool. Just behind there, he goes off. But meanwhile, we've got a really good train here as TY and Bidster are trying to make up places here. As Twirdy goes through, as Bradders now goes slow up the hill. And then Bidster gets alongside the two yellow cars. Bidster and Bradders teammates, Brave and Bold Racing, as we go up the hill. And it's Twirdy bounced off the wall, almost contact with TY as they go up to the top. And Twirdy trying to keep it around the outside in the orange Mercedes, and he's just trying to hold on. And Cy Racing at the back in the Renault just waiting to try and pounce as we go down the hill. Twirdy looking down the inside of Bidster now. Twirdy down the inside of Bidster. He goes for Bradders as well. Now breaks himself and hits Bradders into the wall. So not good there. Twirdy needs to let the places go. He's letting Bidster go. And TY's trying to slot himself up the inside. They almost come to a stop there. Neil stops, Pash stops, and Blakeney goes through at the back. So Twirdy then, he's slowing down, he's letting TY go, so unless he's trying to wait for Bradders. So where is Bradders? We can't see him, the camera's gone funny there. He's been passed by Blakeney, and Twirdy's still slowing down, but big contact there with Bradders. So we'll get more on that later on through the race. As George and Stevie at the head of the field, this team's showing you how Monaco's done. And it's the team dive squad well and truly ahead now, and then it's Bidster and TY together now. So Bidster and TY have got some free space now, so they go over the chicane, and Neil Farmack in fifth from the back of the field to fifth place. Then Pash in ninth, that's pretty good as well, as Blakeney goes through there, and Bradders there in eighth with Pash coming up behind, who we were just talking about. So Pash closing up on the pack as we look at Yonko's ahead of Cy Racing. So go up the hill and out of the last corner, Cy Racing behind Yonko, possibly going to make a move, I don't know, we'll have to see. Meanwhile, further ahead we've got Bradders, Twirdy and Pash all together. Every car got a bit of damage on in this race as Twirdy gets a good run through the corner up the hill. There's Cy Racing, he's still behind Yonko, no way through there yet. Meanwhile, up to the front we've got Bidster and TY still together, Stevie and George still together, so we've got quite a few cars running close together here in this race, which is brilliant. As the camera goes funny again, as we watch Neil go down the hill. Let's have a look at Twirdy and Pash. They're quite close. We go down the hill. So Bradders in front of Twirdy as well, into the hairpin, and Pash is looking like he's got a bit of a quicker car through that section. Into the hairpin. Yonko only just gets the car stopped. Into the hairpin and out of it. Pash looking for a way past Twirdy there. To the tunnel, and Pash gets a wheel spin on the way out and moves to the right hand side, and Yonko might have a look here. Yonko's looking around the outside, no, can't go around there, hits the wall into the chicane. Pash trying to hold off Yonko here on the brakes as we go into the corner, and everyone nicely through there. A bit more curb there than usual for Twirdy, but he gets away with it. The leaders up front still running in at line, so I wonder if they're going to start challenging each other or whether they'll stick with the order that they've got here. Bidster and TY being caught by Neil Farmack. Neil Farmack, the fastest man on the circuit now. Well, by the looks of it, we'll have to look at the lap time as we cross the line. But just before we do, we'll get the replays in of the first half now. Here's the replays from the first half of the race. Okay, here's the first of the replays to look at George's start. You see, he just moves across on Intrepidi there and puts him into the wall, so sort of bullies his way into second place there. And then Bradders goes over the curb as everyone else just about makes it through Sandoval. Here's the second replay on Bobby Yonko, who he dives up the inside of Cy Racing on the first lap, and he just makes contact and sort of bullies his way through. And Cy Racing's trying to get him back into this corner, but outbreaks himself and hits Blake in the process. And Yonko goes around the outside of them all while they all try and get through the corner. Now let's try and on board with Intrepidi as he hits the wall there, just to piece together this first lap incident at the chicane. So we break into the chicane, George and Hovno make contact. Hovno's on the inside. He recovers, but then Stevie hits him into the wall, and bang! That causes a massive chain reaction. Then coming around the corner, you see we're looking here, all the traffic just about gets round, but by the time we've turned round, we're way down the order. Now here's a look on with that incident on board with Hovno. So down to the chicane, break in, just going around the outside, make a bit of contact, we're going to really make the corner, and then comes back on, and Stevie goes around the corner and hits him, and then causes contact, and then Yonko goes straight into his roll on his roof. Everyone else thinking, holy hell, what the hell's gone on here? And then we're on his side, and then we have to sort of get the car reset, because you are allowed, when you're on your side or rolled over, you are allowed to do that, and then we resume. Now here's the Yonko's view after it all went together. So Stevie comes across, Hovno rejoins in a bit of a dangerous place. Hovno hits him, then Yonko tries to avoid it, but then gets hit, and then gets hit from behind by another car, I think by Twerdy, who couldn't avoid the incident, and then rolls over, and then we have to try and find the gear, and then we eventually get going. But by the time we do, we're down almost in last place. And now here's the last quick view on this incident. So yeah, the usual thing, Hovno comes across and then bang, and then we get Yonko hits Hovno, and then we can't really react in time, and we hit Yonko into the air. Here's the incident between Cy and Blakeney. So you see Cy brakes very late and then just taps Blakeney there and spins him round, and then ends up continuing. He thinks about waiting, but by the time he's ended up waiting, it's just that Blakeney's not really recovered still, so he sacrificed 3 places and decides to continue. And now let's have a look what Neil Farmack thought of this. So we go into the corner, and then all of a sudden, red Mercedes reversing towards you, and then that makes Blakeney go over in a roll, and Neil continues. And now back to the racing action. As we come back from that, it's Bradders and Twerdy still together at the last corner. Twerdy going for the outside, Bradders not giving him much space as we go down the straight and into the first corner. And Bradders comes across, bang, and hits Twerdy, and there's contact between both, and I think Bradders came across, Twerdy went to one side, and Cy Racing and Yonko have contact as well. Bradders tries to get the car turned round there, and there he goes, but yeah, contact between the two. Couldn't really tell whether it was Bradders moving across or Yonko moving across, but looks like they both came towards each other, and that spelt disaster in the end. Meanwhile, further back, we've got Hovno and Intrepidi further back, having a nice battle. Twerdy and Pash then together now, so Pash up into 8th place. Cy Racing, Yonko and Bradders down to 9th, 10th and 11th into the hairpin. Meanwhile, to the front, George is in the lead still, with his wipers on. I thought he had his wipers on there for a minute. Must have been the game having a bit of a glitch, but yeah, or my eyes, probably my eyes. But George goes through there with Stevie behind him as Bidster goes through there as well. So we're watching George, the leader, then through the chicane, and Stevie right behind him. Lights on now. Is Stevie going to challenge his teammate? He's right behind him, but he just goes a bit slower out the chicane there. So Bidster trying to catch up. Neil catching up to all of them. 1 minute 40.4 for Neil. That was the lap time that we tried to get before. 1:40.4 for Neil. Absolutely brilliant lap. Fastest lap of the race so far for Neil Farmack as we cross the line. Oh, contact! Cy Racing and Yonko. Cy Racing's off, Yonko's off as well, so contact between the two possibly. And again, that'll be in the replays at the end of the race now. So that'll be in the second half of the race replays. So Cy Racing, more contact there in the Renault. As Stevie is right behind his teammate, filling his teammate's mirrors with those headlights. Just trying to either trying to intimidate him or trying to push him on, saying, come on, Bidster and TY catching us, go. So I think the second one's probably more likely, as George is in front, Stevie second. Bidster and TY catching up in 3rd and 4th. Just avoiding a little hump in the road like the F1 cars do, as into the hairpin. Bidster and TY right on the back now. Stevie's up on the curb. George is holding his teammate up here. And George is in a fight. He's still, obviously they're all still in a fight for the championship, but Stevie's the closest one to Bidster at the minute. So Bidster's in the lead of the championship, and he's flashing his lights now, just trying to put Stevie off his stride. As we go down through the tunnel to the chicane at the bottom, into the braking zone. Still George from Stevie, Bidster, TY, Neil Farmack in 5th, right behind all the leading group now. So still one of the fastest cars on track, Neil Farmack, as we go through the the swimming pool entrance into the swimming pool chicane. Through we go, lap 6 of 9. All very close together over the chicane. Quick look back to Twerdy. Here he is in 7th place with Pash following him behind. So the BMW is doing better as this race goes on. Then we've got Bradders back here in 10th with Intrepidi, Yonko, Hovno and Will. So all the guys that have been involved in incidents further back in this race. As Bradders hits the wall. Oh, and Yonko doesn't have anywhere to go there really. So Bradders goes off and Yonko goes through. So Bradders making his own mistake there and losing control of the car. And now having a bit of a mare trying to get it back going again. He's still stuck there. He needs to find the gear somewhere. There he is. There's a gear, and then he'll find. Oh, that's reverse still, Bradders. And then we'll get it in first, and off you go. And meanwhile, Stevie's in front of George. So the leaders have swapped again. We'll get that. We'll hopefully get that in the montage of replays later on. But Stevie and George pass each other. So Stevie through on George as George almost hits his teammate, and Bidster hopes that he does, so because it'll help him out. But Stevie now trying to run away and see if he can leave George to fend off Bidster. I think that's his plan, but he's ahead now, lights ablaze still, and away he goes as George just misses the tyre barrier on the way out the corner. TY is back down to 5th as well. He's made a mistake, and Neil Farmack is through into 4th. So Neil Farmack now chases the 3 Mercedes ahead of him. Into the chicane. George is now still with his teammate, but Bidster's right behind the both of them. Bidster closing up on 2nd place here, seeing what he can do as we go through the chicane and into the swimming pool. And oh, Stevie's hit the wall! Bang! He's gone round, and Bidster just avoids him as Stevie then gets going, and TY, sorry, not TY, Neil, sorry, Neil goes through. So used to TY being in a Beamer, but yeah, Stevie does a 360 off the wall and rejoins in 4th, but that's not helped him out at all, and Bidster now is free to attack his teammate, which he's doing now as we go down over the start-finish line. So Stevie then, in dramatic fashion, somersaults his way down to 4th place and doesn't get a perfect gymnast score for it, but loses places. As Bidster then gets alongside George up the hill. Bidster alongside. Side by side up the hill. That's how you do it, ladies and gentlemen. That's how you go side by side at Monaco. And Bidster slides up the inside. George is not giving up. He's trying to stick it around the outside. Can he keep the inside for the next one? No. Bidster slices in front and he's in the lead. George now down to 2nd place. Can he attack back before Bidster gets away? Because I've got a feeling that Bidster will. We'll have to see. But Bidster is ahead for now. George in 2nd. Neil is 3rd. And Stevie in 4th. So Stevie will try and come back if he can. Meanwhile, further back we've got Twerdy, Pash and Cy Racing very close to each other. So Cy Racing run the back of Pash and Twerdy as we look further back now. Oh, Will's disconnected. I think he's not there anymore. So Will's disconnected, unfortunately. Hovno back in 13th and Bradders back in 12th, having an awful race. But we'll just go back to the leaders as we look at Bidster. Then George has been caught by Neil Farmack now. Neil Farmack with his eyes on 2nd place now. And Stevie with his eyes on Neil Farmack saying, get off my teammate. I do not want you anywhere near my teammate. As George cuts the corner there, that could be a penalty. He's got to be careful. Neil goes wide. Neil goes wide and he just makes the apex, but Stevie gets right up behind him. Neil's now on the defence into Raskas and slices in front of Stevie. And no way through there, Jose, as... you get on the power out the corner, and the front wheel drive just losing its grip there through the mid corner. So the Neil's car definitely looking like it's got a stronger pace towards this last half of the race, which usually is the case with the rear wheel drive cars. Into Sandivot for the last time. George gets a good run, Neil gets an even better one, and Stevie gets the best of the lot as we go up the hill towards Casino. Bidster in the lead, Neil having a look at George. George defends the inside just slightly just to make sure Neil's not going to try anything. As we go through the corner, George runs wide, brings the car back online and goes through the Casino, through the dip. Stevie gets a very good run through there. He's going to attack Neil. Neil defends, no way through there for Stevie. And Stevie can't really find, and it's really hard to overtake on Monaco as it is, as George runs wide there. Neil again looks up the inside, Neil down the inside. Oh, contact! And into the wall goes George, and Stevie goes through past them both. Neil had to try something, but that probably wasn't the best way to do it as they rejoin. George finds a gear and he's down to 4th. Neil runs away with 3rd, but it's a bit cheeky that really, as that'll be reviewed at the end of the race. But yeah, we'll see what happens there. But that has changed the positions up dramatically now. So we've still got Twerdy in front of Pash, but Bidster is looking like he's on the way to a win here. And Stevie then gifted back second place, but that's not the second place he wants. He'll want to win, really, but still, I'm sure he'll take second place points if he can get it, as George shortcuts the chicane there, and he's got Blakeney not too far behind him as well, so he can't afford to lose too many positions to penalties as we go through the swimming pool. As out of Laras Cars goes Bidster, and through the last corner, Bidster's going to take victory in this very chaotic Monaco race. Well done to Bidster, he wins the first race at Monaco. Well done to Bidster, he wins. It's Stevie in second place. Stevie takes second place after doing the somersaults and doing all these other twists and flips. Neil Farmack in third in the BMW from the back of the grid. What a drive by Neil Farmack, well done. And then it's George in fourth, Blakeney in fifth, TY is in sixth for that team. So Blakeney goes past on the last lap. Twirly in seventh, Pash in eighth, Cy Racing in ninth, and then we've got Intrepidi, or Intrepid, whatever you want to call him, Intrepidi in 10th, with Yonko right behind him in 11th. Yonko back down to 11th, and then it's going to be Bradders next in the Mercedes. Just make sure he does actually get the position, or as he bounces off the wall, boing boing, playing pinball. I think Bradders and Hovno have got the best pinball score in this one, but that's not the kind of score you want. So unfortunately, as Hovno's just coming through the chicane there, so we'll just make sure Bradders gets to the line, and then Hovno will definitely be 13th as Will disconnected earlier. So let's watch Bradders across the line, and there he goes at the last corner, definitely home safe now. Bradders secures 12th place, and it's going to be Hovno in 13th. So we'll just get those second half of the race replays in first. Here's the replays from the second half. Here's another look at the Bradders and Twerdy incident. So the side by side on the straight, going down towards Sandoval, and watch Twerdy's car here, turns in now, which is way too early for the corner, and hits him and Bradders both off into the wall. Pash is that busy, probably laughing, he goes into the wall himself, then they go up the hill. Okay, here's the view from on board Bradders' car, so there's Twerdy on the left. Now watch here as he goes into the corner and turns across us, and then bang into the wall we both go. Twerdy recovers with Bradders having to take a while to recover. Current Cy Racing, so watch Yonko's Mercedes here, goes to the inside for an impossible gap, and then ends up causing himself to go into a spin and almost takes out Cy Racing with him. So that was a very risky gap, and now he's going to try and reverse as Bradders comes across and almost causes another accident, and then gets going and causes almost another accident with Intrepidi. So Yonko really needs to work on his awareness, otherwise he'll not be racing with us anymore. And George just moves to one side, and then on the straight just lifts off and lets his teammate go by, because obviously George just wants to try and play wingman for his teammate. Okay, here's a replay of Stevie's spectacular gymnastic work. So hits the wall there, which puts him off, hits the wall on the inside, bang! Round he goes, and Bidster and George so lucky to avoid him. Then he tries to rejoin as safely as he can, and Neil goes through. What a spin! And now here's a replay of how close George and Bidster were to disaster, so we're just going to slow this down. Stevie ricochets off the wall, goes off. George goes through just about clean as the back end comes towards him, and Bidster just avoids the front end as it comes towards him, but my God, that was close. Attempt to pass George on the last lap, so going here, looks down the inside, there is a gap, but just outbrakes himself and hits George, and Stevie goes through and takes the positions, but George is left there stranded as Neil gets going. And as we come back from that, now we will take you to the overall standings. Okay guys, here's the results then. So after that, it's Bidster who wins the race. Well done to Bidster, with Stevie behind in second place. Neil takes third in the BMW from near the back. Well done to Neil. George in fourth, with Blake in fifth. We've got TY in sixth, with Pash in seventh. Then we've got Twerdy eighth, ahead of Cy Racing as we go to the page in ninth. A few penalties there for people, but looks like Twerdy ahead of Cy. Intrepid in 10th, Yonko in 11th. We've got Bradders in 12th, and Hovno rounds off the 13 finishes. And as we come back from that, your winner of the race there is Bidster, the yellow Mercedes there. Well done to Bidster, he wins the race after that chaotic first race here at Monaco. And obviously in the next race it will be race 2 around here for yet more drama, so we'll see you for that one guys. Take care. Thank you for watching another race by LPB Racing. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave your comments down below, hit your notification bell, and next time it'll be race 2 from Monaco, and this time it's at night.